Have you ever felt like life is testing you in every possible way? As if the challenges are endless, and the answers you're searching for are always out of reach? What if I told you that these moments aren't coincidences but clear signs that you might be one of the chosen souls? One of the few facing such deep spiritual challenges that they not only shape who you are but also who you're destined to become. The question is, are you ready to discover why all of this is happening? In life, there are challenges that seem to break us. Moments when we lose everything, our direction, our peace, even our faith. But what if these moments were actually doors? Doors that lead us to a journey of spiritual transformation, designed to reveal our true purpose. Today you're going to learn about the 7 hardest spiritual tests, the ones only chosen souls are called to overcome. These tests are not ordinary. They come to challenge you in every way possible: your identity, your faith, even your ability to trust the unseen. What many don't realize is that each of these challenges is a tool, an opportunity to shed the old and awaken to a new version of yourself. You might be facing one of these tests right now without even knowing it. But here's the truth: overcoming these challenges is what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary beings. In this video you'll learn not just how to identify these tests but also how to overcome them with confidence and wisdom. Get ready to dive deep, because this isn't just content to watch. It's a moment to change your life. By the end of this journey, you'll understand that the chosen are not defined by the tests they face but by what they do with them. Imagine a sculptor standing before a block of raw marble. They observe, reflect, and begin to carve, stroke by stroke, removing everything that doesn't belong to the final masterpiece. This is how the chosen are forged. They are not born ready, they are shaped through intense spiritual trials. These challenges are not punishments but divine tools to refine their essence, inner strength, and above all, their purpose. The chosen face the deconstruction of their old beliefs. Careers, possessions, status, all these external definitions are stripped away, forcing the person to confront who they truly are. Think of Job in the Bible, who lost everything but found something far greater: his unshakable connection to the divine. The same happens in the life of every chosen soul. When everything around you seems to fall apart, that's when the truth begins to emerge. This process is profound and transformative. It forces you to look within and ask, who am I without all this? For many, the answer is uncomfortable at first, but it reveals the true self. Practices like self-reflection through reading, I recommend The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, can help start this journey in a practical way. And this is just the first step. Because when the masks fall and you begin to see who you really are, the universe presents you with another inevitable challenge: isolation. There is a silence that only isolation can offer. Imagine yourself in a place with no external noise, only the sound of your own thoughts. Isolation is not merely a pause or solitude. It is a sacred space where the soul can finally hear itself. Great spiritual leaders, like Moses in the desert or Buddha in meditation, sought this silence to find answers the world around them could never provide. This spiritual test challenges the chosen to break away from the noise of daily life and face the truth that emerges in silence. It's in these moments that we realize solitude, often feared, is actually a teacher. Simple practices like taking 15 minutes daily for a solitary walk or disconnecting from technology for a few hours can be a first step for those who haven't yet experienced the power of isolation. But here's the challenge: isolation exposes everything we're afraid to face. Our regrets, insecurities, and deepest desires, all of it rises to the surface. Yet it is in this confrontation that inner strength begins to emerge. Think of Jesus, who, after 40 days in the desert, came out strengthened to fulfill his mission. So it is with the chosen. Isolation doesn't weaken but prepares them. And when silence becomes familiar, something even more challenging comes into play. The next test doesn't just involve being alone but letting go of what we fear losing most. It's time to talk about detachment. Letting go. It sounds simple, but few things are as challenging. Imagine holding onto a rope being pulled with great force. The tighter you hold, the more it hurts your hands. Detachment is like releasing that rope. A choice that hurts at first but brings profound relief and freedom. This spiritual test teaches that true power lies in trusting the flow of life, not in trying to control it. In everyday life, detachment might mean leaving a toxic relationship, walking away from a career that no longer brings joy, or even releasing limiting beliefs. A practical exercise many people use is the letting go ritual. Take an object that represents something you need to release, a diary, a letter, a photo, and let it go symbolically, whether by burying it, burning it, or donating it. This act reinforces the idea that letting go makes room for the new. But detachment isn't limited to material things. It also involves releasing expectations. Think of a farmer planting seeds. He can't force the rain or control the sun. He simply trusts nature to do its part. The same applies to our dreams and plans. When we release control, we allow the universe to surprise us with something even greater. And in the process of letting go, we often encounter a void. A silence that may feel frightening. But it's in this silence that we come face to face with the most transformative test of all, the dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul is one of the deepest and most mysterious spiritual tests. Imagine walking through a long, dark tunnel where each step feels heavier than the last, with no guarantee of light at the end. This test is not just a spiritual crisis but a transformation. It strips away everything superficial, leaving only the essential. It's a call to surrender to the pain as part of growth. During this time, it's common to feel that faith has been shaken, that God is distant, or that life has lost its meaning. But the truth is, this emptiness is not an end. It's the beginning of something extraordinary. Think of how coal transforms into a diamond under pressure. So it is with the soul during this darkness. It is refined to shine more purely. For those facing this test, a helpful exercise is practicing gratitude even in the hardest moments. List 3 things you're still grateful for even amidst the storm. This test also teaches patience and resilience. Suffering is not permanent, but its lessons are eternal. In Psalm 23 we read, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." This reminds us that even in despair, a greater presence is guiding us. Incorporating readings like this, meditations, or simply moments of silence with yourself can serve as a beacon in the darkness. And as we begin to emerge from this night, something extraordinary challenges us, to believe even when the evidence isn't clear. We then reach the next test, faith in the unseen. Faith in the unseen is the test that defies logic and invites us to trust what we cannot see. Imagine walking across a bridge in the fog, not knowing where it ends but certain it will take you to the right place. This is the call to believe in something greater, even when circumstances seem impossible. It's in this moment that faith becomes most powerful, for it no longer relies on external proof but on an inner conviction. In practice, this test asks us to keep going, even when results aren't visible. Think of a farmer planting seeds in dry soil. He doesn't see the fruits immediately but trusts that rain will come and the harvest will follow. To cultivate this faith, daily exercises like visualization can be helpful. Imagine your dreams already fulfilled, feel the emotion of achieving them, and trust the process. This test also challenges our need for control. It's not about abandoning effort but accepting that there are forces at work beyond our understanding. Remember the story of Abraham, who followed the divine plan without knowing exactly what lay ahead. We are called to act the same way, to take steps without seeing the entire path. A simple practice is creating a vision board, with images and phrases that represent your goals, as a visual reminder of your trust. And when we finally learn to trust the unseen, the next great test arises. Surrender, teaching us to relinquish control and align with the flow of life. Surrender is not giving up but the ultimate act of trust. Imagine being in a turbulent river, struggling to swim against the current. You're exhausted but hesitant to let go. Surrender is when you stop fighting, let the current carry you, and allow it to take you to the right destination. This spiritual test requires courage, as it means abandoning the illusion of control and trusting that the universe knows what's best for you. This process is deeply liberating but also intimidating. The ego fights to hold on to control, but the soul knows it's time to release. To practice surrender, start small. Try a symbolic exercise. Write down your worries on a piece of paper, fold it, and burn it or place it in a closed container. This physical act can help anchor the idea of letting go of your anxieties. Surrender also involves embracing uncertainty with trust. Think of Mary, the mother of Jesus, who accepted her role in the divine plan with humility and faith. Let it be done to me according to your word. This teaches us that surrender is not passive. It's a state of openness to what's coming. Practices like meditation or mindfulness help strengthen this surrender, keeping the mind and heart at peace. And when we truly surrender, something incredible happens. Not only do we find harmony, but we're also ready for the grand moment of awakening. It's in this state of acceptance that the final transformation begins to emerge. Awakening is the culmination of the spiritual journey. It's not a magical event that happens outside of you but a profound revelation that everything you've been seeking has been within you all along. Imagine opening your eyes after a long dark night and realizing that what seemed like chaos was, in fact, divine order unfolding. Awakening is when you finally understand the purpose behind every test, every pain, and every transformation. At this stage, the chosen no longer seek external validation. They recognize that the answers, which once seemed unreachable, were always within. Think of a moment when you had a deep insight, that feeling of clarity that changes everything. Now imagine that experience magnified, a state where every step and decision is guided by the certainty that you are aligned with the universe. To cultivate this state, daily practices like gratitude, meditation, and service to others are essential. Awakening doesn't mean challenges disappear, but you now face them with a new perspective. Difficulties are no longer enemies but opportunities for learning and growth. It's like dancing in the rain instead of waiting for the storm to pass. In this state of consciousness, every moment, good or bad, is an invitation to deepen your connection with a higher purpose. And what happens next? Awakening is not the end but a new beginning. It's a new way of living, full of meaning, purpose, and peace. The journey continues, but now with the certainty that you are an integral part of something much greater. We've reached the most profound and revealing moment of this journey. Now that you know the 7 spiritual tests, take a moment to reflect. How have these challenges shaped your life? Perhaps you're going through one of them right now. It could be the isolation that insists on revealing painful truths, or the dark night of the soul, where everything seems lost but transformation awaits. These challenges are not easy, nor should they be. They exist to shape you, to prepare you for something greater. The question now is not whether you can endure but what you will do with all of this. The spiritual journey of the chosen is not for the faint of heart. It requires courage to let go of control, faith to believe in the unseen, and humility to surrender to the divine purpose. But above all, it requires action. What you've learned today could be the first step to transforming not just your life but also the impact you will have on the world. So ask yourself, what's stopping me from acting like the chosen soul I am? Don't let this knowledge stop here. Take some time today to put something you've learned into practice. Maybe it's meditating in silence, releasing an attachment, or simply looking at life's challenges with a new perspective. Change doesn't start tomorrow. It starts now. Because every second you hesitate is a second you delay your awakening. And before you go, I want to ask you for one thing. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep receiving transformative reflections like this. And if this video touched your heart, share it with someone who also needs to hear this message. Remember, the chosen don't walk alone. Let's illuminate this path of purpose, abundance, and spiritual transformation together.